Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. I thought I would take us through some yoga for when your body is tired and you just need to get some movement in. So let's hop right into it. We are going to start on all fours with our shoulders stacked over our wrists and hips over our knees, inhaling into a cow and exhaling to a cat. Just trying to find some flexion in your spine at your own pace. It doesn't have to be as fast as I'm going or as slow, whatever matches your rhythm and breath in your body today. Just make sure to sync your breath up with your movements and feeling each vertebrae. Whenever you are ready, we can move into some barrel rolls going in one direction, so moving your ribs out to the side and around in a circular motion and reversing the direction. If you want to include your head, you can. You don't need to. And now we're going to turn our fingertips back to face our knees and just get a little bit of stretch in our wrists, finding a rotation over our wrists in one direction and then the other. Maybe a little bit of bend in your elbow if that feels good for you. Keeping your palms firmly planted on the ground and then turning our fingertips straight forward again, taking our knees wide on our mat, our big toes touching, extending our arms to the front of the mat and coming down to a child's pose. You want to take a nice deep breath in and out and just fully relax into this position. If it feels good for you, you can rock side to side, walk your hands to the right side of your mat and feel a nice stretch in the left side of your body, and walk your hands over back to the left side of the mat and feel a stretch in your right side body. Just following along to whatever feels good for you, getting this movement in your body, even if you are tired. Now, coming up, keeping your knees where they are, raising your right hand to the sky and threading it under your left hand that is centered in the middle of the mat. We're going to thread the needle a couple of times here just to get some twists in our spine and just finding a little bit of moment at the bottom if that feels good for you. Inhaling when you come up and exhaling when you come down. If you have the flexibility, you can reach up and around to your low back or even to your opposite hip, and slowly coming out of that, switching the hand that is in the center of the mat and pulling your left hand up to the sky. And inhale and exhale, thread the needle. Just continuing to do that at whatever pace feels good for you. Remember to sync your breath with the movement. If it feels good to stop at the bottom, do that. If you want to keep moving through the twists, do whatever feels good for you. If you extended your hand on the other side, do the same for this side. So reaching towards your low back or sacrum or even your hip if you have that flexibility. Releasing, slowly pushing into the mat to come back up. We're going to find our hands at the front of the mat, pulling our hips a little bit further back and dropping our chest down to the ground to find a puppy pose. If it feels right in your body, you can have your chin rest on the ground or your forehead, and then you can find some flexion in this position. So pulling your heart up and arching and rounding through your back and then dropping back down with an exhale going down and an inhale on the round. each time you should find a little bit more space coming down and just releasing that, keeping your forearms where they were and pulling your heart and chest forward into a Sphinx pose. You can look left to find a nice stretch in your side of your neck and right to reverse that feeling. Taking an exhale, coming down and pushing up to a downward dog once you've tucked your toes under. Making sure to press evenly through your hands, and you can find a little bit of a pedal in your feet. Finding stillness, raising your right leg up and dropping it over to the left side of your mat with your hips stacked to get a nice deep stretch in the front of your right side body. Maybe a little ankle rotation, drop your leg and lift the other one to repeat this movement on the other side. Always making sure to breathe through your movements and fuel your muscles with the oxygen they need. Now, finding both feet on the ground and in some plank waves, we're just going to come forward and tuck our toes under to sit up and give our feet a nice stretch. We'll circle our wrists out to get movement into every part of our body and give our wrists a little break. Slowly raising your arms up, finding movement. Once you inhale in and exhale, release your arms behind you, push your weight forward so you can sit back onto your bum and find your hands behind you at about mat's width, fingertips away from you, and you can scooch your bum forward to find a nice deep shoulder stretch. If your elbows are a little bit uncomfortable, just give them a micro bend and that should relieve that feeling. And if you want a deeper stretch, you can extend your legs in front of you. To release, pull your knees into your chest and lay back onto your back. With your left foot planted, bring your right ankle across the front of your right quad and pull in for a nice reclined pigeon posture. Give yourself a little movement by kicking your left leg up from 90 degrees to, if it makes it to straight, great. If not, wherever feels like a good stretch for you. Getting movement in all areas of our body right now, but keeping it very low key. Making sure to breathe in and relax. Releasing your feet down and switching the cross of our legs. Pulling our right leg in from behind our quad and extending our right leg to the ceiling and down. Just finding some nice movement in your body and a good stretch in your hips. Inhaling and exhaling to release all the tension. And whenever you're ready, maybe give yourself a little extra pull in and release your feet back down to the mat, knees towards the ceiling. Walk your feet out to hip width and knock your knees into the center. You should feel a nice little rotation in your hips. And whenever you're ready, drop both knees to your left side and you can alternate to the right side to find a nice stretch in the front of your hips. Inhaling to come up and exhaling to drop your knees down to the other side. If you want a little bit of an extra stretch, you can cross your outside foot over your inside knee and press down a little bit to find an extra stretch in that front of the hip. But only do what feels good in your body. If that's a bus stop too far for you, stay where you are. Bringing your knees back up and extending your legs out long. We are going to bring our right leg towards our face, keeping your toe pointed, and finding your leg just below your knee so you can kick up and down with your right leg. Just pulling in a little bit more than you would have been before in your reclined pigeon to find an extra stretch, and then releasing that. Switching to the left side, go all the way up to your ankle, feel where your body's at today, and then drop your hand below your knee so you can find that bend in your knee and straighten your leg out. Just bending and flexing to find what feels good. Dropping your left leg, reaching your hands above your head on an inhale, and walking your ankles over to the left side of your mat for your hands to also join you in a nice little banana stretch, finding a good stretch in your right side body, and then reversing this position. So walking your ankles over to the right side of your mat and pulling your arms over to the right side of your mat as well. Taking a nice deep breath, relaxing in that position, and then finding center once again with your hands above your head. Pulling your knees into your chest now, you're going to draw circles with your knees together and just give yourself a little massage on your low back in one direction and then the other. Just a little bit of compression in the hips and massage in the low back should feel really good. And if it feels right in your body, you can find the outside of your feet and pull your shoulders down to the ground while extending your feet up for a little bit of a happy baby. So you should have about a 90-degree bend in your knees, but everybody's flexibility is a little bit different. So just be okay with where you're at in your body today and find what feels good. Extending through your feet, kicking them up to the sky while finding opposite and equal motion, pulling down through your arms. If it feels good, you can bend and extend each foot one at a time or both. Just giving your body the movement it needs right now. Now finding your feet flat on the ground with your knees still pointed towards the sky and your hands just able to touch your heels. We are going to find a bridge posture. So you're going to slowly tuck your tailbone up and massage your spine, bringing it up one vertebrae at a time on an inhale and slowly dropping one vertebrae at a time on an exhale. This will be our third lift here, and if you want, you can find a bind underneath your body with your hands, lifting your chest to your chin and the chin to the sky. Making sure to keep our neck aligned so we're not pinching anything, and then slowly releasing this position. We are going to come to bring our knees up to a 90 degree and then drop them to the left side, making sure your arms are out at a Texas T and your shoulders are staying nice and planted on the ground, and switching the side that your knees are on, dropping them to the right and finding the twist on the other side. Now we're going to roll up on our spine if that feels right in your body. If not, just make your way to a nice L-sit, however that is comfortable for you. We're going to breathe in, lifting our hands to the sky, and on an exhale, folding forward over our legs. The goal isn't to reach your feet. It's finding just a good stretch in your body, but if you're at your feet, great. If you're not, if you're at your shins or knees even, Just finding some good deep breaths and relaxing into the fold, releasing any tension you have in your lower back. And also, if your back is super tight, you can find a nice bend in your knees. You don't have to straighten your legs completely. That might be too much of a stretch for some of you. So just finding what feels good and relaxing completely into the posture. When you're ready, on a nice deep breath in, roll up and come to a cross-legged seat with your left foot in front. Breathe in and bring your hands overhead. Bend your left arm and grab your elbow for a nice stretch in your left arm. And you're going to reverse that stretch for the other side. So dropping your hand along your shoulder blade, bending your right arm and grabbing that elbow for a nice deep shoulder stretch. And we are going to reach around for your hands. So having your left hand above and your right hand down below. Grabbing your hands if you can. If not, just trying your best and then reversing that grab. So now your right hand is on top and your left hand is on the bottom. Depending on your dominant hand, one side is going to feel much tighter than the other, but we are going to release that, come back to a cross-legged seat and fold forward. Find a nice release in our hips and back again. Taking a nice deep breath in, coming up, reversing the cross of our legs, and then again folding forward to get a stretch in the opposite hip on your exhale. Making sure to breathe deeply here and fully relax into the position once again. If coming this far forward in your body isn't accessible, just come to wherever is comfortable in your body. If your hands are right in front of your feet and that's an intense stretch in your back, you're fine to stay there. And you can always lift your hips up to help. But that is the end of everything. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that you think might like it. Anyways, thanks. Bye.